Hi folks, today I have for us something different. This isn't a frauditor, but a lawyer actually giving out some words of wisdom to the frauditing and SolveSid community. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep this channel going, so thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it helps with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out the second channel, NCR Movie Network, and my podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Ranking Podcast. Episode 20 is out right now. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
I wanted to give the frauditors/auditors some career advice. I generally don't call them that, but that's what people are using, so I'll just use the term. There are some of you out there that really want to know what the law is. George Metz, for example, is one. Direct D is one. And I saw a video by Direct D that I thought was hilarious. It was Bait Truck that he put on his channel. Now, that movie, that video had great music. It had the 80s electric music, do, 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 do. And sure enough, the cops are right there to pull him over because it's got an F the police bumper sticker, and that was the real reason for pulling over the cops. That shit interests me. And then the axe that was taken from inside the cab, the axe was definitely provocative because it could be used as a weapon. And then he asked a great question. You know, if a cop asks you if you have any weapons on you, what about your constitutional rights to remain silent and everything? So I'm very much in favor of that. But, if the goal is just to simply go to someplace and disrupt the business by filming and being just an obnoxious ass, that's what a lot of this is. And look what what's happening. All of these guys are going to prison, getting prison sentences, going to jail. The convictions are coming fast and furious. If you look at the federal law, which I showed in my other video, there's a body of law that's being connected from circuit to circuit. You've got the Ninth Circuit for the auditor/whatever up in Northern California. He got nailed. Then you got the 10th Circuit with DMA, the 11th Circuit with Florida, George Metz, And where are you actually left? Now, some of you guys, like Chili, for example, look like you're making a lot of money. So, okay, everything's got a price. And then if you got merchandise, you might be making a lot more money than I think. All right. But you guys are kind of the exception. I mean, even Chili was really interested in figuring out what the law was. So I give him credit for that. But for the others who aren't so informed and you're going off the idea that a sign on a door isn't a law, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Non-Lawyer, most every single time that sign on the door, especially if it's a government office, is an abbreviation of the Code of Federal Regulations.
Damn!
And yes, security officers could be private security guards. They still can give you lawful orders. Now,
this guy's brought up some valid points. This isn't really about constitutional law or trying to fix the system for a lot of people. What it is about them trying to find a way to make a quick buck. Look at Chili. He's no longer about trying to correct the system, if he ever was. It's all about him trying to make money. Look at what happened with George Metz, aka Rogue Nation. His channel's been deleted. Not only that, he's facing time for his convictions in Florida. Most of these guys will end up getting arrested and building up such a lengthy rap sheet that no legitimate business would want to hire them due to the fact that they're more preoccupied with breaking the law than being law-abiding citizens.
Look at Jtown Press. I mean, didn't she get like a 458-day sentence in Alabama? Remember I showed you the opinion from the judge which said they went looking for trouble and they found it? That was clearly, don't you ever come back to Alabama again.
Yes.
And then what happens if you pick up another charge and you're on probation for that? Now you're looking even more time. So there was that lady that did the tearful, I wish I wouldn't have gotten into this. But again, there are the kingpins who could be making a lot of money and they know how to play it. And then there's the rest of you. I would suggest...
Man, he's dropping wisdom like it's nobody's business. But look at what happened with Rage Girl or Riot Girl, whatever she wants to call herself. She made the video saying how auditing ruined her life. Look at what happened with the 15-year-old who decided to try to copy FAPA style and was detained until his parents picked him up. Most auditors or frauditors who get into this from watching these bigger channels on YouTube end up ruining their lives. They end up getting lengthy jail sentences, probation sentences. They end up losing the respect of their family and friends. They lose their jobs. And why? Because you saw some jackass on the internet and you thought, that I can do that. I can point my phone and quote what he's quoting. All you're going to end up doing is ruining your life, ruining your family's life, and becoming isolated from your friends and family.
Yes, that you see the writing on the wall. The convictions will not help you in life. It'll keep you from getting jobs. If you think you're jobless now, you really are going to be jobless if you rack up all these stupid convictions.
Boom, roasted.
I mean, Craig Henry, I saw him. What did he get? Like a year and a half or 3 years in prison? I don't remember now, but he got a substantial. He went to prison, and this is no joke. And the more of this that happens, the less tolerant the prosecutors become, because the more of a nuisance it is to them. Again, what I'm seeing for the most part are people who cannot afford their own private attorneys. They're going with public defenders who are overworked and don't have a lot of time to devote to your case. I mean, I'll give you an example. I had a client that got raided by the sheriff's department 10 years ago, and they took all of his stuff. They basically shut down his business, took all his money. I filed a motion with the judge, and I invalidated the search warrant and got back $200,000. I mean, if you have the money to hire really highly expensive private defense counsel, you got a great shot at anything, okay? But that's because you are looking to see where those lines are and you don't cross them, and you don't make things worse by fighting it out with the police because you disagree with what they think. You let me do that. I have the power to put him in the chair and cross-examine him, make him look like a liar, create reasonable doubt. You don't. So you got to know, how to use the lawyer in the way that the lawyer can actually be of value to you.
Earlier, he called some of these bigger channels kingpins. And these are kingpin channels. Look at Delete Laws. Look at LIA, Direct D. Look at all these channels that have 100,000+ followers. They have the means to pay for private lawyers. They don't have to get a public defender. Like he said, a public defender is not going to have enough time to devote to your case. They're going to be overworked because they have dozens of cases to work on. And arguing with the cops on the side of the road is not how you're going to get your point across. You're not going to prove anything. If you get arrested, arguing with the cops that you have a constitutional right to do this or they're violating this isn't going to help you. That would help you only in the courtroom. This lawyer is dropping so much knowledge, but do the frauditors even listen? No, they don't care. They bleed their followers dry, and unless they have anything else for them, they'll abandon them.
And then you got the problem of paying a guy like me for maybe a year or two if the case can't get thrown out because it's too much contested factually or politically. It's a bad case, and the people want to go forward with it because you resisted arrest. Remember, if you had a shot at getting the case dismissed, but you resisted arrest, you almost guarantee that the DA is going to take that case to trial because politically they got to stand up for the cops. So I'm just saying that there is a niche out there. There's the Direct D's, the Chili's, the George Metz's, probably some others. I don't really know all you guys that are looking to figure out where the law is so you can stay within it and still run your business. And then there's the others who are so hopelessly ignorant. For example, take a look at what I just wanted to show you from the IRS's own regulations and policy manuals. They've absolutely got no tolerance for sovereign citizen ideology that you are not going to have to pay any federal income taxes because you're listening to some jackass. Remember that guy that I profiled? What was his name? David Miller. He couldn't stop lying. I mean, it was hilarious. He said that he saved the U.S. Treasury, yet here he is pitching his products and books to people in Indiana. So bottom line is, please consider a different career choice. If you've got a criminal record and you think that's keeping you back, see if you can get the record expunged. It will usually remove it for at least disclosure, except for anything for a licensed job. Go into business for yourself. But this YouTube stuff really, I mean, when you factor in what it costs for lawyers, the incarceration, the potential likelihood of a jail sentence, I just don't see it. There are exceptions to every rule, but my recommendation is to see the writing on the wall and to get out while you can. Thanks.
And the video ends there. This guy, this lawyer, has dropped out words of wisdom that all frauditors need to hear. Because he's got a valid point. There are exceptions to the rule. However, the majority is you're going to end up in jail doing this frauditing stuff or worse. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel and the podcast. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me, and I can never...